In this video, I'm going to show you how I made this clip that convinced my audience on Instagram that I actually climbed a tree for this shot. Welcome back to the 5 to 9 Creator channel, where we make videos about the tips and tools that can help you become a better creator. Quick disclaimer, this is not a sponsored video, so any engagement, be it a like or a comment, really does help the channel to reach more people. And if you find this helpful, consider subscribing. Okay, so to start things off, from a concept perspective, if you want to make any sort of generative video, it always starts with needing a first frame and a last frame. So whatever it is that the video that you want to make, think of it as what is the starting for that video and what is the ending for that video. So keeping that concept in mind, for the video that we are trying to make today, it starts with a close-up shot of me hugging a tree, and then it zooms out to reveal that I'm high up on a tree. So the starting is the image of me hugging the tree, and the ending is me high up on the tree. So that is our first frame and our last frame respectively. So I hope that makes sense. So I'm going to show you what it looks like in the editing software so that you're able to visualize that a lot better. So this is the whole clip that we are trying to recreate today. Now, in this particular situation, I have marked with green markers what the starting and what the ending frame is. The first portion is the portion that we recorded out in the field in the real world. And this is the AI generated image. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just delete this for now. And then we are going to go through the process of making that generated video and then putting it back into this timeline by the end of this video. So at this point, I'm going to export this frame or take a screenshot of this frame, because that's what we are going to use in the next step, which is going to be the final frame of the AI generated video that we are trying to make. So how can we use this image that we have of me currently hugging the tree, and how can we generate that image of me sitting far up in the tree? That's what we're going to do next. So the first step is we are going to generate the end frame of the AI video that we want to make. So we already have the first frame from the video that we shot hugging the tree. The ending of that video is the first frame. Now we need to get the last frame, which is the final reveal of what I look like when I'm sitting up on the tree. So to do that, you can either use Adobe Firefly using the Generate Expand, or you can use Photoshop. Now I want to get you to the outcome as quickly as possible and in the most effective way. I personally love Photoshop because there's a lot more control there. So for this particular video, I'm going to show you how I do it on Photoshop. Once you have Photoshop opened up, you click on the crop tool and you have an option called Generative Expand. You can select the ratio that you want. We're going to go with original ratio, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to hold Alt and Shift or Option and Shift, and I'm going to keep increasing this. So I'm going to click on Generative Expand, and in the prompt I'm going to say expand this image to make it look like the man is sitting high up on a tree. Keep the man's pose the same without changing anything about him, and I'm going to hit Generate. Whenever prompting, you want to be as specific as possible to make sure that the person who's in the image remains as is, because otherwise the AI tool will basically regenerate the entire thing. This happens across multiple generation tools, so I like to follow this even in situations where it won't necessarily do that. So when you generate the image, you get multiple variations, and this is almost very close to the exact image that I got, and I'm gonna pull that up so that you can see what that looks like. But I think this is a good place to be right now. So we have the end frame now, we have the starting, and now is the fun part where we are going to generate the video, which is going to connect these two pieces together. So I'm going to export this file as a PNG so that I can use this as my end frame. So next we're going to open up Adobe Firefly, where we're going to the video generation section. We're going to hit on Generate Video. Now here, don't be overwhelmed by the number of options. I'm going to walk you through each one. So first you have the model. What I recommend for this one is Kling 3.0, which is cinematic video, and it works really well. In terms of resolution, I'm going to select 1080p. In terms of aspect ratio, we want it vertical for Instagram, 24 frames per second. So I'm going to drag in my first frame. And then I'm going to drag in our new last frame that we just generated together. Now when it comes to the prompt, this is where a lot of people get stuck. So I'm going to give you a cool hack which is going to make it super simple for you. Open up ChatGPT or Claude and put in the idea that you have and ask Claude to basically give you a well-detailed prompt. So I'm going to show you exactly what I did so that you could replicate this for yourself. So this is what my Claude looks like. I put the first and the last frame here as well, and I said I have 2 images. I'm trying to generate a video from the close-up version of me hugging the tree to the zoomed out version of me sitting high up on the tree. The idea is, if this was a real shot, begins with a tight shot in frame and then suddenly zooms out to reveal where I'm sitting. Can you write the perfect detailed prompt for me highlighting camera movement and speed, etc. So it's basically a brain dump of what I have in mind. Claude gave me a detailed prompt, but what it did was it also put in the details of the man, which is something that is not really needed. So I said, do you have to mention the man? The image already has me in it. So can you mention to keep the details in the image intact and not change any features of the man already in the image? After that, it gave me a perfect prompt where it gave instructions of what the start and end frame should be. The shot opens on the person sitting in the first image, then it's smooth continuous motion. It goes into the very specific details of what the camera movement should look like, what the lighting should look like, and also the mood of the video. So all of this makes this prompt a very, very strong prompt, and the odds of a very good output is also high because of it. So now I'm going to copy this prompt and I'm going to put it into our prompt box. Okay, everything looks fine. I'm going to hit generate. Now, depending on the settings that you select for the prompt generation, it might take a little bit more time. Okay, now our generated video is ready. So I'm going to play it and it is looking not too bad. There's still something that I'm not too happy with in this video, where specifically the smile looks crazy and definitely not real. So what I recommend is, whenever there's situations like this, rewrite the prompt to specify do not change facial expression, and that will regenerate it in a way to exclude that specific thing that it did wrong the first time. Now once you have this video, you basically download the file and save it to your project. The last step is where we open up our video editing app and we drop the new file that we just generated. So this is the same project file that I used. I am going to move this video to the side and I'm going to bring in the latest video that we just generated, and let's see how this looks. So I'm going to play the whole thing so that you can see how it looks. So at this point, the only thing that I have a problem with is the smile, and the smile begins just here. So another way that you could sort of mask this is by increasing the speed of the video, which is something that I did. Once I got this video, I basically go into I right click on this video. You can go into speed and duration and you can increase the speed slightly. Another thing that you could also do is you could go to the effects tab and you could add camera shake, which is an effect which will make it look like it is an actual camera. So that gives it a little bit more of a realistic vibe as it zooms out. You can again further improve this by adding a speed ramp where it goes fast at first and then it slows down, so that the smiling portion that we didn't like basically gets covered. But you can still get rid of that smiling situation by putting that in the prompt, like I said before. So I hope this video was helpful in understanding the thought process behind how this works, the concept of having a first frame and a last frame when it comes to generating a video. And I hope that this gives you some ideas for how you can leverage this in your creative workflow. So if this was helpful, leave a like, comment on the video and let me know if there's something else that you want to see or if you have any questions. So if you have any questions, leave a comment below. If this was helpful, consider liking and subscribing to the channel. Reach out on Instagram and DM me if you have any questions as well. I'm more than happy to help. So I'll see you in the next one.